As I am going to do an update because I haven't done one in a while and I've been doing quite a bit in here. So as you can see, I did do a major change because I wanted the 18-inch table to be in the middle. And the reason for that is more track space for this 3-foot table to be down here. And if you look at it from back here, it looks as if it's cluttered up, like everything is bunched up in one spot. But when you get close and get up here, it's a lot of space. So let's run down everything so y'all get a good understanding of what's going on this layout. First thing first, let's start with the inner track, or the service track. There's actually two service tracks. The first service track goes all the way around, but it comes into the Y right here and over there. And it ties in for what we're going to call it the tank farm, because this is where all the tank cars come. We have 3, which is on the unloading rack, and we have 2 on the loading rack, and down here we have 2. Switching operations in this area is going to be bananas because it is so cool. Doing the backside switching, trust me, it's going to blow your mind. So the first track goes all the way around and it services the tank farm. The next track is for the RPA, the resin production area. And it goes all the way around. There's the switch to go to the cement plant and the loading and unloading dock for the resin totes. So this track goes all the way around. And then down there on the end, I switched this around yesterday because this was down there and that was down here. So I decided to switch it up and put this down here so that I can shove a full set of cars and then drag them out one at a time instead of shoving them in and pulling one at a time. So later on this next week, you will see that in full operations. But this is the RPA. Here's a switch, goes into 2 tracks, and it goes all the way through. Now the funny thing about this is that one side goes into the lumber mill, just like that, and then the other one, we have a switch here. And there's a reason why we had that switch here. The first reason why is because it serves the other side of the awning for box cars, flat cars, center beams, whatever. But this is in for the running, when I do a running. So y'all will get to also see this in the running, because the cars will come with an engine. Down there is the sensor. It'll stop, unload, hit the next sensor, stop, unload. Stop, load up, hit the next sensor. 2 cars will load up, and then 3 cars will load up. Just like as if I was at my old job where they would shove the cars in, load them, shove them out. The next cars will be loaded, and then they shove them out. So that's what that's all about. So that will be part of the running. And then I'll show you the operations on that later on as well. And then we have the refinery, the chemical plant, which I just put in this morning, finished putting it in this morning. And it will be going all the way down. Oops, don't fall, Harold. All the way down this table. And we're going to put the storage tanks down here, the reservoir tanks and service tanks for the plant, and everything will be running down here. And if anybody don't know what this is your pump house. When you run your line, service go in one side, service goes in the other side, it goes all the way around. So that is your pump house. And so, yeah. So far, I'm not done with the chemical plant. I'll be done with it soon. So, since we got that done, now let's talk about the yards. Now, this is the classification end of the staging yard. This is the classification end. All right. This is where everything comes from from the tank farm, RPA, cement plant, lumber mill. Everything comes in here, and we'll drag it up, and we'll kick it into the outbound track. And if we don't need to kick it to the outbound track, we'll classify it into the yard. The majority of it, we'll just shove the outbound cars into track 1, which is this track here. This track goes all the way around. Okay. Then on this end, we'll have an engine, which I got over there. Its main purpose is to block the cars on this end. See, the way a yard works is you have the classification end, the kicking end, where they kick the cars into the yard, classify them on this end, and then on this end, they block the cars for the outbound train. That's how a yard works. One end classifies, the other end blocks it. And they can also do the same thing on the other end, but majority of the time, their responsibility goes on the other end is to block the cars. So if you ever go to a yard, a major yard with a hump hill, that's exactly what they're doing. The hump hill rolls the cars down into the yard, okay, with the stipulation of brakes in there and the brakes and everything on the tracks. But they classify the cars into the yard on one end, and then on the other end they have SD40-2s or Jeep 60s, about 3 or 4 engines paired up, linked up, to pull a serious amount of cars to build the train. That's what you call the blocking. So they block the cars on one end. So when they get done blocking the cars, they set the cars out on an outbound, inbound track. And it'd probably be 1 or 2 tracks out there. And then they'll have the engines come, pick them up, take the train up to the fuel pad, fill up the car engines, and then take off. Or they go ahead and take off after they done filled up. That's how a train works in a division area. Alright. So, these 2 tracks, it's right here. From here, before the switch, down here, off the switch, the yard lead is considered my outbound track, where we'll set the cars here for the outbound, and then they'll take them to the closet branch, where they'll be serviced at the plant. Closet branch hasn't changed at all, except for 1 or 2 things. Cement plant, limestone plant, Mariani, Jackson Chemicals, the warehouse, and that's it. Everything is serviced on this area. There is nothing on the back wall at all. Everything, because I can't reach it. I can reach it, but I just don't want to try to fight around buildings just to do the switching off. So everything is in one area. So that's pretty much it. And then the service train will then shove the cars into this track, which leads into the inbound track for the plant. Engine comes, pick up the cars, and then shove the cars into the inbound track, which is now considered the inbound track. Service crew on the other side will drag the cars up, classify the cars into the yard, and voila. So that's pretty much it. This is pretty awesome. So that's pretty much it on NAS. I hope y'all enjoyed this update. I know it's a little long, but there's a lot to explain. So y'all take care. And if you have any questions, just come to the live show and see it in action. Until then, bye.